listening to Groovy with GroovyWitch666 and Josh Homme.
Hopefully that works.
Okay, fingers crossed. Deep breath.
So what have you been up to during the
What's
lockdown?
that?
So what have you been doing? You're out in the desert, right?
I've been going out to the desert, and I've been in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been going on a journey of self. God, that sounds so deep. No, I've been reading a lot.
That's what I've been doing. Like, I've been just plowing through books because I've been like, I have problem with sleeping, but like.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so I've been like, I sometimes read a book a day just at night. So.
Right. Well, and I've been reading total trash as well.
Me too. I have some guilty pleasures that I'm like, I can't pass these books on to anybody, and I don't want to keep them.
Well,
so I just dump them in a free library thing.
Oh, that's cool. There's one of those in my neighborhood, and it's always like Dianetics and stuff like that, and it kind of freaks me out. I don't know why I'm whispering that, because you don't know if they're close. And but I wanted to just put like really raunchy shit in there because it's just to offset the Dianetics and the L. Ron Hubbard of it all.
Yeah.
You know, but I used to buy books just because of their cover, because everyone said not to do that, and so I just thought, I'm fucking doing it, because it dawned on me that like people say don't judge a book by its cover, because that's what people with a shitty cover always say.
Yeah.
You know, because then I was like, are you saying that you had a chance to pick out a cover and you don't think it went well, so you don't want me to use that at all?
I do that with the old pulp book covers and the old crime ones. Those covers, sometimes those books are such shit, but the covers are worth it.
But the covers make the books better, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like Jim Thompson, below Jim Thompson, you know, because Jim Thompson is fucking great. But below him is like there's this book I just finished called The Sailor.
Okay.
And other than me loving the cover and wanting to just run around my house going, Sailor! I just read it because those two things occurred, you know?
Have you ever read the Stephen King has 3 crime, was it hard case crime?
Oh, no, but I love Stephen King.
Yeah, he just had one came out. The cover is pretty awesome, called Later. And then he has Joyland is my favorite. And then his first one, they finally republished it. It was hard to find. That's okay, but.
Well, the thing about Stephen King is like, you know how if you're vegetarian, bacon is the gateway meat? Like bacon is what?
Full disclosure, I'm a vegan, but no one knows because I don't push it on people. Like I'll have my best friend eating a burger next to me when I'm eating my fucking broccoli and stuff.
Well, but like if you ever caved, bacon would be the reason. Like,
you know what? I don't think I would. I hate the fucking smell. My older brother, used to stuff his fat face. Oh shit! I should say that. This is being recorded. Oh well, if they don't care, they won't hear this. But he used to stuff his fat face with pig products when I was a kid, and it made me want to throw up. And seeing his fat face, stuffing it, it's just like I can't.
So seeing his fat face pig out on pig products, like this pigged you over.
I can't.
No,
that smell brings me back to when I was young and like how horrible my childhood was, and yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I can see why you have such an aversion to people pigging out. But what I will say is, in the metaphorically speaking, then, bacon. Like I've converted veggies through the gateway of bacon, you know, and not that I was trying to, it just occurred. But well, Stephen King is like sort of the gateway meat of like reading, because I remember not wanting to read as a kid, but then reading like Skeleton Key or Skeleton Crew, which is just a bunch of short stories.
Yeah.
And so it was like fully bite-sized, available to someone that's 13. And like one of them was about a doctor who was really into cocaine, who was fleeing on a private plane and it crashed. And he survived the plane crash. And he's on a deserted island and with just the cocaine and nothing to eat. And blow and then cutting his limbs off to eat them. And it's like, it was at 13, I thought, oh, this is reading. I'm so into this now, you know?
Did you read his
he brought me
one? Yeah, he just put out one, I think it was a year ago, or maybe just this 2020, I can't remember. It has a big black cat head on it. It's a bunch of short stories. There's a couple of stories in there that's pretty good.
I got to return to the king, you know?
Yeah, one is so depression because it's talking about kind of what's happening now, sort of is implemented, but yeah.
Well, you know, I once got to meet Stephen King, and it was backstage at David Letterman, and like I'm a smoker, and so I was just I have this thing where it's just better to say I'm sorry than may I, so I just try to do stuff until someone says don't.
I did that as a kid.
Yeah, I just prefer to have someone say, you can't do that. And I say, well, I'm almost finished. And try to just, so I'm smoking backstage and Stephen King walks in and he goes, you're smoking? I said, yes, I am Stephen King. And he goes, can I bum a cigarette? and we are just clouding the smoke detector in the place, and he was such like a dick in the best way. Like I said Skeleton Key, and he's like, Skeleton Crew, God damn it. Like he said, God damn it, as a quick response. And I was like, dude, it doesn't mean I didn't read it. It just was a long time ago. It just, and I thought that was the best thing ever. Is he was kind of like, he wasn't just putting up with a bunch of flack, you know. He was Stephen King. It was awesome.
Did you ever get into like Hunter S. Thompson's books or
Bukowski? Yeah. I mean, like that's where that dovetailed into, and you know, like being from the Des, there was a lot of speed around, and I think when I realized that, when I found out that Bukowski wrote everything on speed, that I immediately felt like, oh, well, I would understand that because I'm from this area, and so I would get that. I would get his writing, you know, and so there's little foolish, childish connections that I thought, well, that meant something to me at the time, you know.
That's like Hunter. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that was like Stephen King. Like, I felt a connection to him because he's a Red Sox fan, and I'm from Boston, so that's what made me want to read his stuff.
You know,
it's weird when you have those connections.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just felt like you were from England.
Oh, you did?
I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, I have Instagram is kind of like something. I don't know how else to say it. I treat it like a trash can, like a dumpster in an alley.
Yeah, it is pretty much.
Well, I just put stuff in it and then I walk away. Like I never look in the dumpster.
It's not wise to look at it.
I'm not a comment reader, or like the few times I've gotten requests, like I've gotten tons of dick pics and like naked pictures.
You too.
Oh
yeah. What is that? I'm like, I opened something. I don't open any emails now, and people yell at me to come find me on the other ways. I'm like, I don't open emails anymore because they're all dick pics.
Yeah, but I get those too. You know, because I'm a lover of the gays, and that's how the gays love me too. And so like, in fact, it's weird. Of all the weird stuff that I've ever checked, the dick pics I find the least like bothersome. Like that's, I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. You know, somehow that's like the top of the barrel for me. It's like the dick pics that, I've had a few people like, I'm in a mental institution, and when I get out, I probably have to kill you.
Do you get stuff from people so-called in jail, or they just get out of jail and they're gonna come find you? Because I get those.
I ain't got none of those, but I'm optimistic and I'm willing to learn. You know.
I'm like, I may look sweet, but I'm from Boston, inner city. I'll fucking rip your eyes out. Like, I hate creepy guys.
Well, yeah, and well, that's why like I looked at your thing because Jesse told me that you were cool, Jesse Hughes.
Yeah.
You know Jesse?
Well, I haven't met him in person, but like, you know, so my friend, I was like, my depression and anxiety got way worse during this past year. And so my friend and I was listening to live music, so my friend was watching Jesse's lives, and he kept like saying, check it out. I'm like, yeah, I finally checked it out, and it made me fucking laugh. And so then
he's the funniest person.
Yeah, we started talking, and he was just so supportive of like my books, and just me, and I'm not used to that. I don't get support. I don't know what that's about. He was really super nice.
Well, the funny thing is, like, I've known him since we were kids, you know, and he didn't get much support neither, and so he is like anyone that appreciates what he does, he sort of takes a tack that says, "You're my family now," and but he's also partially crazy and partially a genius. He's got he's one of them big brain kids, got like a super high IQ.
Yeah.
And so he bounces around, you know, he bounces around. You never can quite get a hold of him, but when he shows up, he just fawns love and attention, and it's totally genuine. Yeah. It's 1,000,000% genuine.
Yeah, I just was like really like, I couldn't believe he even talked about it and put it on his page, because I've had people just hound me to death, like famous people, and then I just feel like, can you send me this, and I send it, I go out of my way, I ship it, and then they don't say jack shit about it, not even privately. It's like, you don't have to say anything publicly, but not even privately, like, oh, thanks, I got it. Even if you think it's shit, just say, oh, the artwork's cool or something, you know, because you bugged me for it. I shipped it to them free. It's like, you know, Jesse was just so, you know, I mean, you don't have to lie, but like, I mean, he just seemed genuine and he's crazy.
Like, well, you know how they used to call butterflies flutterbys? Yeah,
no.
That was the original name for a butterfly, and it's because they would flutter by, you know, and it's that which is so sweet, you know, like that, the flipski of how it goes from flutterby to butterfly, and I think of Jesse as like a flutterby.
Yeah.
He's totally genuine. He will stop at your flower and he will be like, "Oh my God, this is fucking outrageous."
And then he's gone.
And then he's gone. And then perhaps he will like stop again, and you'll think to yourself, "Wow, you're back." And he'll say, "Yeah, I'm back because I felt this was outrageous and beautiful." And then he's gone once again. And I just think that that's what makes him so cute. Many folks think he's crazy, and so on and so forth, and different things. But I know him as a sweet flutterby, you know.
I mean, but we're all kind of crazy in our own way.
Well, I don't ever worry about that because that's the wake behind me.
Yeah.
So I just don't, and there's so much to deal with in the present, and there's so much in the future that I don't get too nostalgic even about my own behavior, you know. So, but yeah, you're from Boston and not from England.
No, but I have relatives over there, and I have relatives in Ireland and Canada, and so like
you just have an English goth tendency.
Yeah, and I just grew up using weird words that no one else heard of that's like, and just, yeah, a little odd.
Was it a shot in the dark? And I missed. I was pointed the wrong direction.
What?
I said my guess was a shot in the dark. And
I get weird places. Everyone thinks I'm from weird places. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
I think you're doing it. I think you're doing it right then.
I stand out too much here though. Like I'm in fucking Kentucky, like Louisville, and it's weird here. Like even I've been here a few years now, and it's like I still get the strangest reaction. They stare at me like I have 10 dicks spurting out of my head that are just like fucking coming out of their faces or something. Like I'm like, what?
I've been to Louisville too a few times, and it's I think for Kentucky it's quite Cosmo, or just sort of very Asheville of itself. You know, it's got a good personality, and
unfortunately
it's definitely Kentucky.
Yeah,
it's definitely Kentucky.
Louisville is actually pretty cool. Since when you get outside of it, it can be slow. Yeah, it's really grand. So Louisville is cool because it has like it has vegan like restaurants and vegan breweries and it has some cool museums, and it's not like what people. It definitely is different than what I had in my mind before I came here. So.
What brought you there?
Yay.
You gonna say boy?
No, I was in California, but things kind of like fell apart really fast. My roommate decided to skip out, go live with some guy she just left, and then she left me with just screwed, and it just like became too much, too expensive, too much. So I had friends here, and they were trying. I was thinking of moving somewhere else, but they didn't think it was a good idea. So basically, they kept getting me to visit here, and then I liked it at first, and so I was like, all right.
Nice.
And then, yeah.
That's a bold move.
But everybody moved. All of my friends have since moved that got me to move here except for one. I want to kill them. I'm like, you have to.
They said, get out here, and you did, and they said, we're getting out of here.
Yeah. I was like, you fucking assholes. Like, what is that?
That's quite bizarre.
But it's better than what I was gonna do, so yeah, it probably worked out.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think it's a gutsy move to just pick up and go somewhere and say, I'm going here.
Yeah, it was so odd at first because like I grew up on the East Coast, and then I lived a huge chunk of my life in California, like mostly San Francisco and then the Bay Area. And then I tried to make a couple attempts to LA, but that didn't stick. So it was like really weird to move someplace here and not be in the ocean, and everybody's so slow, even slower than California. When I moved from the East Coast to California, I was like, holy shit, people talk so slow, walk so slow. And then, but that was good preparation for hair, because like if I thought that was slow, oh my god, people here, I want to push them. I'm like, come on, like they're so slow.
How much free time do you think I have? Yeah.
Yeah, I worked hard to lose my Boston accent in California, but now since I've been here, I have so many weird dialects here. Of like to some people I can't understand because they're from way out. Like, and then some people sound like they have a mouth full of like sticky, I don't know, like cum or something, and like these mouth is full of sticky stuff, and I can't understand half the people.
I think a mouth full of cum is probably the funniest way I've ever heard described like an accent.
Like, if you heard fucking piece of shit McConnell speak, he sounds like he has a mouthful of cum. I'm just like, what?
Well, who's to say that he does not?
He might.
He might. At least it would be a quality excuse for what's happening there.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's fucking brutal here. It's like, and I oh my God, like, you can't, like, if someone cuts you off and almost, like, hits you, you can't react. Because if you react, they will fucking follow you. I've gotten chased, like, twice. And, like, I actually had to call the cops once. And I'm in a little car, like a door fucker. And this guy was in a giant SUV. He had guns. He was older, like I could barely understand him. He was mad because I pulled over for all these ambulances and fire trucks.
Yeah.
And so he like was beeping at me and swearing at me as he drove by, so I flipped him off. Not smart, I guess. He ended up chasing me for miles, and even when I pulled over to park in like a store parking lot, and he was just like going nuts and trying to get me to get out of the car. And then he started ramming the back of my car. Just started ramming it. I'm like, fuck, because I'm in a little tiny car, and his is a huge.
Right, but car on car is a little bit of that.
Oh, okay. Starting to lose you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna. Can you hear me now? Am I there?
Yeah.
This is the problem with where I'm in Malibu.
Oh.
It's like the reception here is doesn't happen from time to time.
Kind of sound like a ghost a little bit. Kind of cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's cool, actually. Ooh. Did you hear that? Did that
was
through?
really high pitched.
Thank you.
So maybe some dogs.
Yeah. Well, I always thought if there were ghosts in my house that, because I'm not like really that sort of stuff doesn't scare me, I thought that I would be like showing someone the house, like, oh, come and check this room, and the ghost would jump out and go, ooh, and I would just sort of walk through it, and it would go, ooh, damn it. You know, even though I've seen things in my life which are completely unexplainable, and I believe there is probably ghosts.
Yeah.
Even though on all these ghost shows they never find really anything, it's kind of like they're really grasping at straws.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any of these things?
Yeah, I know I've experienced some stuff where, like, I do believe there's some like ghosts or spirits. I've had some weird, I've been struggling with like some health issues, and I've been really like out of it. So like I thought it was that, but I sort of see like this is gonna make me sound fucking crazy, but like almost.
I already think you're crazy, so it's totally fine.
Okay, well, so I kind of could see a little. I won't get too into it because I don't want anyone to think I'm really batshit. I'm not batshit. I'm just kind of crazy, but not fully crazy.
Yeah, I just think you're regular crazy, you know.
I kept having things being like knocked over, but things that couldn't fall over by themselves. Like kind of like go up, like almost levitating, and then just like getting. I had that keep happening over near the hallway in the bathroom. Every time I was over there, and I could feel like a breeze, and there's no windows over there. It was like really creepy. That went on for like almost 2 months. So, anyways, I had a couple other things before, so.
But you're articulating why I'm not really that afraid of things such as that, because I would think, well, if you're just knocking stuff over, I'm okay with that, and I understand that, but I don't feel in danger. And also, like tipping stuff over, I have 3 kitties. Yeah. They do that too, and it doesn't bug me then. Like
I actually enjoy it. I'm like, come make my life more interesting. Come
yeah, would you mind grabbing the paper?
Yeah, exactly. You mind doing some laundry? Like I don't care.
Yeah, and I always like figure that there's some level of communication, because see, if my way of thinking is that would just be energy, and if once you cross over, it can't just be nothing. Yeah. So it makes complete sense that there would be residual energy or take loops and and things like that, essentially.
Yeah, like dimensions, like different.
Sure, because why would it just be only what you see? Like, I love my mom.
Oh no,
In the air,
I'm
you know.
losing you again.
Oh, it's just.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah.
That's just gonna happen. It's a cycle of stoops, you know.
So if I sound like I'm not listening, it's just say you went to the ghost voice again.
Have I returned from the dead?
Yeah, you returned.
Oh, what I was saying is, I love my mom, but you can't see it in the air. It's just an intangible that is true, and so I feel like those types of things are just these true intangibles, as you said, from dimensions of reality.
Yeah.
But if the most you could do is make the hairs on my neck stand up, I'm okay with that. I'm cool. That's like a gentle massage of life,
What about, so since you're down in the desert, have you seen anything like weird in the sky or any?
Yeah, well, yeah. But I always start with earthly answers. That if I just know that with military bases closed,
Yeah.
there's so much testing going on.
Yeah.
And I also know, I just think about like game theory and strategy, where if I was in the military and I was testing something that you didn't want anyone to know, I would say, maybe it is an alien. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
And I do know that the desert's the perfect place for alien or testing, and having it be confusing is the perfect foil.
I want to believe. I
Well,
hope they are.
if you just use the odds of when the Hubble telescope takes one photo, and we're talking the universe is this, from where we are, is spherically all around us. It's in every direction, in all directions that are available. So when the Hubble telescope takes one photo of one quadrant of that to make up that spherical thing, there's 300 billion stars in that one photograph. And so you just say, what are the chances that we're the only thing that's alive in any form?
No way. There's no way we're the only ones.
The chances are terrible that we would be the only thing.
I like to think they do know we exist, but they don't like us, so they don't want us to know about them.
Well, there's tons of theories of creation, and one of them is zoo theory. Do you know about this?
I'm not sure.
Okay, zoo theory is that, like, how were there dinosaurs, and then later on, then people just appear? How does that work? And so this is funny. One of the theories is that you're placed here in a zoo. It's like a sanctuary, a zoo, ultimately. That you're placed, and dinosaurs are there, and then there's a cataclysm with a meteor, and then I mean, I'm not saying I subscribe to this, but I like the sort of fantasy Stephen King version of placement, where the concept is someone places you here and says, well, what will they do? What will happen? Yeah.
Or the theory that this is some other planet's hell or something.
Right. Well, right. And in the Bible it says that God created man and woman in His own image, right? And so there's this theory of placement via this thing that we ultimately say, well, that's God, right? And that plays into zoo theory because of the placement, where human beings say, well, we were dropped here by this thing that's our God. And, that primitive man and mankind is, worshiping the thing that dropped you off. And there's lots of fantasy sci-fi takes on that, And I'm revealing I'm a complete nerd.
No, I love all sci-fi stuff. Do you watch? Are you into sci-fi, reading or shows or movies?
I learned to get into things from my parents, and my folks would listen to for example, when I was really little, my folks listened to Jackson Brown, but they only listened to the album Running on Empty. They never listened to anything else. So I just listened to Running on Empty and listened to it so much I started to deconstruct it. And so I think I sometimes will get into one sliver of something and then get into that sliver so much that I just deconstruct it. And then foolishly, I'll never listen to or read anything else by that person. It's just, it's almost an odd, hyper focus on a singular thing. So I've read and I watch some sci-fi stuff, and then it doesn't mean I will read or watch any other sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's very singular. Do you get into that stuff too?
I'm really weird too. I'm not I like some sci-fi, but not all. And then I'm really obsessed right now with these murder mystery. I don't know what to call them, little documentaries or whatever the hell they call.
Oh yeah. True crime stuff.
Yeah, I made my best friend watch them, who's not into it, and I'm gonna get all excited. I'm my Friday night is Scooby-Doo. I'm Scooby-Doo with me, and I watch murder, Dateline murder.
Oh,
it's just on regular TV, Dateline.
Well, isn't it because it's so taboo to, and it so could be your neighbor.
Yeah.
And it's so. What you end up realizing is that life is not like CSI, where the crime lab is lit all in blue and all sexy. They don't find people.
Same
they
with
don't find shit.
Yeah, that's why I can't watch these stupid cop shows or the shows, the medical shows, because what I've been through sounds just from the very beginning of 2016 till now, I just know they all suck. The cops, everyone our whole medical system is sexist as fuck, from top to bottom, even the woman in it. And I fucking hate all doctors, all medical people. It's you're better just not going to the doctors and just staying home and just suffering and just doing research online and trying to, because they'll make you worse. They're just fucking sexist assholes. And same with cops. They're kind of fucking, they're all kind of ignorant. It's mind-boggling, blowing. My brain wants to explode dealing with doctors in the office last few years. They're actually very ignorant. They're not very smart.
Well, they don't connect things, is what they don't do. They don't
can't think outside the box. They can't.
And they also don't. They also don't attach. And when doctors go to med school, there's almost nothing dealing with nutrition.
Oh, they're so stupid with that. They're not they're stupid with everything else. They don't know the base. They don't. It's our school systems here suck, and then they also they teach them outdated shit. And
oh yeah, and they don't. They're not collecting information universally and pulling it together.
They're just
there's a lot of being funded by drug companies.
Yeah, that's my problem. That's why I had they get commission for getting someone on fucking chemo, even if they don't fucking need chemo. The doctors will get a commission from them, and they push certain medicine because they get cutbacks. They get commission. That's fucking horrible. There's one doctor I dealt with maybe a year ago. I actually walked out stopped putting on my shoes. I'm walking out. He was such a fucking dumb. He was so sexist and so just because they couldn't figure out what was wrong, he just turned I don't know.
I'm a doctor walker. I've walked out on a few knee doctors because I thought, and been in full blown arguments where just the treatment alone.
But what they do, I don't know if they do it to men, but what they do to women, if you stand up for yourself or you walk out or you get in an argument with a doctor, they write down that you're fucking crazy. You're just crazy. You need to go sit on medicine. I'm I need to leave now. I'm going to fucking punch this guy in the face. There's one guy, Dr. Elliott, he's on my shit list. That fucking guy, He wrote that fucking down on my chart just because I stood up to him and I fucking left mid fucking appointment. I was like,
Well,
if I didn't leave, I would have fucking broke his nose.
I'm glad you did, and honestly, I think doctors believe, because they're used to people just listening to whatever they say, that they're the authority on anything. I mean, anything.
Yeah, it's funny.
I've experienced this a lot, and I can't imagine then being a gal on top of it because, you know, people just think, many doctors just think, well, I missed out, so I can clearly see having, and you're a woman on top of it, you know, and just having that. I'm God, I help you. So why don't you listen to whatever I have to say?
Yeah, they like to say, if they can't fucking figure it out, they like to say it's in your head if you're a woman. It's ridiculous. And they'll write stuff in your chart, and like, it's just, and also getting like fucking sexually assaulted and felt up by doctors. Like, I've had that happen 4 times in the last few years. Like, I had this one, I had to go to an ear, eyes, nose specialist.
And it's like, I need to feel your tits.
Like, he fucking, all right, so there was an old lady nurse in the room, and there was, like, you know, the tubes that clean out the earwax, so they were doing that. And she was on the right side, he was on the left side. He put his arm, his wrist in his hand, and just heavily just rested it on my left tit. I'm just so pissed at myself still because I froze. I fucking froze. I didn't know what to do. And then I thought she's there because, you know, she's supposed to fucking jump in and do something. She didn't do something, and when he switched sides to do the other ear, I kind of sat up and I was like, should I just run out of here? I look at her, and she's just looking in shock. But
what he's doing?
Yeah, he just blatantly left his arm and his hand resting on my tit while he had the tube in my ear. I mean, that's like, yeah. And then I don't know. And then I mentioned it to one person that worked there, and they acted like, oh, well, that's no big deal. He's old. His arm is probably tired.
It's when he rested on your crotch, you need to be careful. That's like,
she's like,
but, you know,
didn't put it down your shirt.
I understand this because every once in a while I get treated like a foxy girl every once in a while, because I understand it's like the amount of times someone has said, hey, can we take a photo with you? And I'll say, yeah. And then they just grab your dick or reach around behind and put their hand in your back pocket. I cannot express how many girls have, and guys too, have like just sort of been like, this is my moment to latch onto you. So, and I always think to myself, wow.
Like, how does someone think they have a right to do that when they don't know someone, you know, like
just go for the tit rest or the dick grab? The dick
that's
grab
just
is
so...
Yeah, it's you know, it's a strange addition to walking around to regular life.
Yeah.
The and thank God I don't have tits, and because it would be a tit rest and a dick grab, and it would be too much for me to understand.
I don't understand how the people that have both, how they deal with it. They get the big fake implants, and they have to have a dick. I mean, they're doubly like.
That's what I'm saying. It's too much to bear.
Yeah. Like, I had to start wearing like high neck sort of baggy t-shirts around here because I had so many problems. Like, I got my boobs grabbed in line at CVS. I've had so many problems. I'm like,
well, how did that occur? Was someone
in front of
they were on special?
What?
Did someone think they were on special or something?
Maybe. I don't know what the fuck it was, and I was just wearing it was a tank top. It wasn't like I didn't have like a ton of cleavage or anything, so it's weird. It doesn't matter how you dress because you can dress in the ass fucking high neck, and it still happens here. Although it's not just hair, because I did have weird experiences in LA. So
yeah, my dick and ass grab history is global. So
it's not just Americans; it's everywhere.
Oh no! I've had a Belgian dick grab, French dick grab, Australian ass grab, and dick grab.
How is that different? So is it different? Are they rougher or like?
It's a different grip.
Different grip. Okay.
Yeah, it's towards the top of my cock instead of the bottom.
So they don't grab the whole base, the balls and everything. They just the tip.
Yeah,
Okay.
and sometimes it's more of a caress, and other times it's a David Koresh, more of a grip. So,
but over here, they're more rough. They're just like.
Well, it usually in America it usually has to do with someone being drunk and saying something that is really off-putting, like "You're my past," and I would think my past, and I'm like, oh shit, do you mean hall pass?
What?
And with a husband or boyfriend close by, where you're like,
geez.
That's what you said that. I didn't say that.
I didn't agree to that.
Yeah, I didn't. You just informed me of a past situation, and I didn't say nothing. So I understand what you're going through.
It's gotten worse in the last since. I mean, it was already pretty bad pre-Trump. It was pretty bad, but since he being president, it's increasingly gotten worse. And right now, it's like it seems like everything has gone back a few decades.
Well, I think I was going to make a really bad joke. Oh, fuck it, I'll do it anyways. So it's a racial tit grab at this point. It's because you're white.
Yeah.
It's out of nationalistic pride that they're going for yours.
Yeah.
Oh,
fun. That's fun.
Yeah, it's part of a militia training to grab your breasts.
Albert and I when I was a kid, and this guy tried to grab me. I was walking home from school, and he was all like, grab me. I fucked his eye up so bad, I think he ended up losing it.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love that.
I was like, I'll rip your fucking eyes out.
Well, I think it's a great location to go for. I always told my kids, if anyone tries to do anything, just bite their nose off, because I can find someone with a missing nose.
Yeah.
I can't find someone whose description is very random, but if you've had the tip of your nose bit off, I'll find you. And when I do, you'll be upset,
Yeah, I used to walk with my keys in between my fingers, and my dad said just jab it right into the fucking eyes, and don't worry if it gets stuck, just leave it, just fucking jab right in the eye.
Well, try to turn him on. That's what I think. Jab in his eye and try to turn him on and see if it works. Turn that key and just
But everyone here is crazy. Everyone here has a fucking gun, and I'm like, fucking hell, I have a knife. That's what I have. I'm fucking knife and mace. I'm like, I need to get a fucking gun, man. It's insane.
In the prepper world, doomsday preppers. If in the doomsday prepper world, they say if you are prepping but you don't have a gun, you're just prepping for your neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. But I would want to train, because you're not going to be standing perfectly still and be able to shoot. You're probably going to be fighting. You could be on the ground wrestling with the person. So I'd want to train my ass off if I was going to get a gun.
Well, I think I've always carried a knife since I was young, because it's an ancient tool that's totally necessary. So I've always had a knife in my pocket or on my belt, and I feel when I moved to LA and living here in LA, some people actually have questioned, you carry a knife, why? And I always think that's so it's an interesting thing to be so detached from.
Yeah, that's what people have said to me, because I have a knife and I always hold it in my hand. I've had bad shit happen to me, and no more bad shit's happened to me. I will fucking kill you if you try anything on me. I'm over it. So I have it in my hand, and there's some people that they're so clueless. They don't understand why I would even have a knife. Why was it in my hand? Why don't I keep it in my purse or I don't know, my bag or something? But I was like, that must be a nice world to live in, to be that sort of delusional. Hello? Okay. Is this working? Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, there. Oh, I thought I hung up on you.
No. Well, I have to go in 5 minutes anyhow because
Okay.
I have to go pick up my little 5-year-old. But it's,
So are they all back in school out there, or are they still doing?
finally, they're
distance?
actually back in school. It's funny, the 5-year-old, he's been in school for months because somehow they figured out preschool, but not the rest of them.
Okay,
you know?
weird.
Yeah, it's classic. Like the people that probably ultimately eat the most boogers and whatever, touch everything, are totally fine.
Exactly.
And somehow they really are totally fine because they take their temp, they wash their hands, and they go for broke. You know.
Yeah.
You know, because they're like rolling around in the dirt and finger painting each other.
Yeah, they're
and
always
totally
like
fine.
eating their boogers and like licking public stuff. I feel like most little kids are their immune systems are pretty good.
There's a tortoise walking around, and the tortoise is totally fine too. So it's like, it is what it is, you know. But
I got a quick question.
Sure.
I was curious about like when you worked with Iggy Pop and you you lived with them. Like, did you guys actually wake up and have breakfast or coffee together, or did you have like a routine?
Iggy and I stayed in the same house, and in the Des in Joshua Tree that we had like on the studio that I work at out there. There's 3 little houses all that you can stay at, and they're kind of independent and a few hundred yards away from each other. But Iggy and I slept in the same place, in a little 2-bedroom place, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful to wake up every morning and say, "Morning, Iggy." You know.
Did you make breakfast for him, or did he make breakfast?
I had my friend who lives in the house behind all these houses. You know, his name's Hutch, and he was our sound man for years, and he's just an artist and all this shit. And I was like, "Can I throw you some bucks to like do breakfast and do, you know, a dinner?"
So what was the main breakfast that you guys like had the most?
Well, what was amazing is that because he's a great artist and a great all this stuff, and because the idea of making breakfast for Iggy and Helders and Dean and he was like, fuck yeah, it'll be fun. Just every morning and every night having a group, you know, these group meals together. So he really threw himself into it. It was like eggs and bacon, and then it was like quiche. The one morning he tried to really flip it around, or frittata the next day, and it was pancakes. And because, you know, breakfast is pretty easy to fling together. You just have to kind of give a shit about it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and it was orange juice, and he was squeezing oranges. It was like, it was the best way to start the day you could possibly imagine, because we would have breakfast. It would go on for about an hour and a half of just waking up, eating, talking, and setting the day's intentions correct.
Are you a coffee person or no coffee?
Oh fuck yeah! I actually shoot it with a hypodermic needle.
Do you just drink it black, or do you put any crap in it, or?
No, I put half and half because I want it to cool down immediately.
Yeah.
It's not really any other reason that I want to drink it as soon as it's ready.
I used to work at a coffee shop, and this lady would get hers black, but she didn't want any calories, and so she'd be like, want 3.5 ice cubes, and she would get mad if she thought it was more than like a half. So it was like, I just brought back that memory to cool it down.
How do you half ice cubes?
I know, exactly. I'm like, I'll make half, I'll put it on the ground and step on it with my foot and then put it in. Did you ever get to meet his bird? Biggie's
Biggie. Oh, yeah, because I've been out to Miami, and yeah, we spent some time out there. And
those videos crack me up. Like, when I'm doing really bad, it's like, those videos of him with the bird make me laugh.
Well, you know, Iggy should always give people that are outsiders hope, because Iggy was a pariah. Iggy had all the talent that you could possibly have, and twice the cock, and just like sort of like snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, and but still has come back to the surface, and as somebody that people respect. I mean, I've always respected him, and I know many have. But now, even what's amazing is he would tell you this. Even the general public, he's like, people in the airport that probably have no idea who I am. They look at me and they go, Iggy, right on, man, and give him the thumbs up. And the reason is because they know he survived at all. And so it's from being someone who, against all odds, even against themselves, pulled it off. You know? And like Iggy living in Miami and as a 73, 74-year-old man on a boat, like on a speedboat, it's so fucking tight. It's so fucking badass. Like him laying out naked by the pool every day. It's just like, and in the ocean, he'll go to the beach, take his suit off, and just lay there naked. I fucking love it.
And then, like, his pet is perfect for him. Like his bird is like...
It's a goddamn bird with a dude.
Yeah.
And it's the best. Like, so it should inspire folks like you and like myself to, like, understand it's okay to be different and in Louisville. And, you know, my grandpa always told me, if you're going to be different, you're going to get hit with rocks. So
I definitely get.
Yeah, well, so you need to learn to like rocks.
Yeah.
And that is really the goal is every stone that touches your body is affirmation that you're going the right direction.
Well, then I must be really going in the right direction. I guess.
Baby, let yourself get stoned, you know, and walk in the opposite. Let the rock hit you in the back so you're going the right direction, you know. And that's you know, that's what I know.
You know that I think it was the Berlin era. Was it David Bowie? Did he produce is that Iggy's album with Shades? Do you know that album?
Wait, is this much later? When he worked with Bowie a little bit again?
You know, it's like Bowie put out one too in Berlin during that time too. It was like the blue one, but Lovin' the Alien is on that one. And then Iggy, they put out Iggy. I thought Bowie worked with Iggy on it, and it was Shades is on it. I can't remember the name of the album, but the album is awesome. Like,
well, there's Lust for Like an Idiot, and then there's one much later on. I can't remember what it's called. That where he came back, but it was many, many, many years later, and they did something together.
I feel like those two albums don't get as much attention, but I fucking love those two from when they both were in Berlin and.
Well, yeah,
I don't know if it was the 80s or when the fuck
No, it was in the 70s. It's The Idiot and Lust for Life, and those two records. You know, when we went on tour, it's like I was trying to see if I could connect those two records and make what would have been hopefully the natural transition to a third record. You know, and I mean, I feel really proud of what we did because the perspective of somebody in their early 70s. In rock and roll isn't very represented, and when it is represented, it's from a weird, silly place. And so I feel like all we needed to do was create a frame around the artwork of what he actually has to say, and I feel proud of what we did. It's very honest, and it is what it is. You know? Working with him is the single coolest thing I've ever been allowed to do. So I like, you know, it's just one of those things where I'm just glad I got that chance, you know.
Is there anyone else that like you would like to work with that you haven't worked with?
Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Like Weird Al Yankovic. I mean that. Like I would love to work with Weird Al Yankovic. I don't. I know that sounds like a joke or sounds really far from, but like I don't know. My tastes are really schizophrenic and really they're in all directions.
That's same with me. Like I'm all over the place. Yeah,
I feel like I have musical schizophrenia, and because I just want to lick stuff all over the place. So I don't want to just lick the same thing over and over, you know?
Well, that's what I like with when I was listening to your stuff is like, I feel like there's some bands or whatever that, I mean, it could be awesome, but like, they sound exactly the same with every single album, but you like, is like, what was this one I was just listening to? Like, it could say, like if I had a tail, like Clockwork, like, it's kind of like a swing vibe to me, and like, your voice is different, and like, each album is just so different, and your voice, like, I was like, is that him? Like, holy shit,
I mean,
that is so cool.
I think I like, I know what I've done, and so I don't want to do that. I know what other people are doing, so we don't need any more of that.
Yeah.
So all that's left is that scary road that you've never seen before in front of you. And so if I don't feel like a little bit intimidated by or afraid, then I feel like I already understand that. So I'm just trying to scare myself to death and walk that way. And and so that it makes the direction to go really simple, just wherever I'm terrified, you know, and wherever, because I don't know that much, but I don't pretend to know that much, you know. I don't. So if I just go where I know nothing, I always feel like the uncomfortable safety of knowing I'm going the wrong direction, the right direction, because I feel so wrong about it, you know.
Yeah.
And so it makes it simple. I just, you know, I think art elicits a reaction. That's all it does.
Yeah.
And I just want to, that initial reaction I want to have myself, you know. And
you should do something. It'd be cool to have your music with like somewhat Scooby-Doo. Because I had Scooby-Doo on. I had it down low, and then I was listening to your music. I was like, couldn't sleep last night, and I was like working out, and it was just like so fucking trippy together.
Yeah,
Scooby-Doo with your music.
I love that you watch Scooby-Doo. That's so cool.
I'm obsessed with all the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, like Scooby-Doo, Huckleberry Hound, Yogi Bear.
Huckleberry Hound, yeah.
Jetsons, Flintstones. What was that? Penelope Pitstop.
Penelope Pitstop. Does it dovetail into Seals and Croft and like you know, like Land of the Lost and Sigmund and the Sea Monster?
Yeah. Top Cat. I love Top Cat. I fucking love Top Cat.
Oh, that's funny.
They need some toys of Top Cat. They don't love the cat as much as the dog, like in movies and cartoons and what's making merchandise.
Yeah, but yet kittens is the most Googled word in all of Google.
It's weird. Like in the real world, I'm a cat person. I don't have pets now, but I've only ever had cats in the past. But I like in the magical world, cartoon world, like Crookshanks from Harry Potter, and I don't know, that's a cat. Like anyways, like I like dogs, like all the like cartoon dogs and movie dogs, but like in the real world, like I had to take care of my brother's dog once. He's since passed, but it was way back after him and his ex adopted it, and oh my god! And then I got stuck with a boyfriend's dog once, and I was just like, fuck, I can't handle it. They were too needy. Like I couldn't even go to the bathroom with the nose up in my fucking asshole following me, and I was like trip over them, and I'm like, I can't stand it. Like back the fuck up. Cats are better because like they want their own space, they want their own privacy, they don't want to be like all like, you know, up in your face all the time.
Kelly, we got to hang out when I go to Louisville. That's for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. I know all like the really weird places because like I'm so anti-social because of my anxiety.
Yeah.
So I go to really strange places.
That's all I ever wanted was more strange places to go
there's
to.
There's a weird outdoor brewery, and they have 2 worker cats that live there and keep the mice away, and it's a pretty weird place.
I'm in. Sign me up.
Okay.
All right, I got to split. I got to go pick up my boy.
All right. Well,
nice to talk to you.
Thanks so much. Yeah, it was fun. I can't believe you did this.
Yeah, totally. No worries. All good.
All right.
I'll see you out there somewhere.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
You've been listening to Groovy Ghoul. And remember, to sleep.